Sup? Yo.
Every new year, a sense of tension curls up in my parents' hearts.
Right.
I could see their faces, suddenly getting worried, especially at this time. Because every new year, my brother Ted comes home. Ted and I are twins, but we're different in so many ways. Though I always tried to love him as a big brother, he never treated me as his little sister. I don't know why, he just can't stand me. The doctors say it's because of his disease. I still remember it was a winter holiday. Ted and I were probably 5 or 6 years old. My dad and I were making snowballs in the garden when I heard my mom screaming. Ted didn't...
A part of me thinks it's the sister's fault. That she's a clucky. A part of me does. Or it could be, I don't know. I'm just getting that vibe.
...want to play with me, so he was in his room. Hearing her scream, we rushed into the house. We found her standing in Ted's room, panting in fear while Ted sat in the corner with a clueless face. The drawer of Ted's cupboard was pulled open.
What is it, Mary? Why did you scream?
She couldn't say anything. She was shaking in fear like she had seen a ghost. After being like this for a few seconds, my mom pointed at the open drawer. I too looked in, being curious and terrified at the same time, but what we saw in it wasn't something we expected. A dead rabbit was lying inside the drawer. The rabbit was placed onto a woolen scarf with utmost care, as if someone put it to sleep, except its head and body lay side by side. Yes, its head was cut off. That was the first time my parents realized there was something wrong with my brother. But it's been...
That's cap. That's cap. I feel like that's cap. They look ugly as shit. Like the ripple effect on it. They look, mom look ugly as hell. But no, that's cap because that's their son. But I tell y'all, it's signs. Signs, there's always signs. I'm pretty sure he showed signs of cluckness early on, in the early stages. As soon as he came out his mother's womb. I'm pretty sure. But because he was a kid, you know, a little baby, a little toddler, a little adolescent, you know, they probably thought, oh, it's nothing. Until that shit. But I'm pretty sure he was on some cluck shit when he was younger.
10 years. Ted is under treatment now. The doctor said we don't have to be scared of him. They said he's shown improvement and he's ready to come back to the family.
Nah.
So this new year, my dad and I have planned something.
Come back to the family? Nope. Divorce papers. You're not being welcomed back into this family. You never will be. You are nothing. You are nothing to us. And you will forever be nothing to us. You brought cluckness into this family and we can never forgive you or forget that. Just saying. Divorce papers on deck. As soon as you were born, I was already, it was something about you. Then I realized. So, once we sign these divorce papers, that's it. You are to stay within, you can't be within 600 miles of 6,000 miles of us. You are no longer family, acquaintances, friends, strangers, anything like co-workers, anything like that. Nothing.
Special for him. It was my idea because no matter how weird he is, he'll always be my brother. We were all waiting in the living room. Ted would be home any minute now. I had decorated the entire house. My dad and I made a banner that read, "Welcome home. It's time for a new beginning. Happy New Year, Ted." I was looking at the clock anxiously when we heard a car approaching our driveway. My mom rushed and opened the door. A blue van from Good Heart Mental Institution was seen standing outside our house. After a little pause, the car door slid open, and Ted came out holding his backpack. He'd gotten a new haircut, more like the army men. He walked up...
Yeah, but he still looked hella sus. He still looked hella creepy. He still looked hella clucky. Three wrongs don't make it right. He looked like he about to start some cluck shit. Look at that face.
The house porch, and my mom hugged him in joy. Oh, Ted, you're home. Finally. We missed you so much. I've made all your favorite dishes. Ted didn't say a single word. Mom brought him inside, and he stood in the living room silently, like...
Hey, if I was a dad in the story, when she said, we missed you so much, because she's looking outside and he's looking inside the house, through the door. She said, oh, we missed you so much. And I would have said, walk by. My ass, not me.
4. Mom and Dad went on to say, battery low.
That's what they said? They say battery low? Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Hold on.
Ted, you're home. Finally. We missed you so much. I've made all your favorite dishes. Ted didn't say a single word.
See?
Mom brought him inside, and he stood in the living room silently, like before. Mom and Dad went on to say how extremely happy they were seeing him, but Ted wasn't paying any attention to them. He was scanning the New Year's decorations. His eyes stopped roaming when he noticed the banner.
Did you write that, Martha?
Yes. Do you like...
Wait a minute. Oh, okay, that's his sister. Okay, I was about to say, why would you call your mom by her first name?
I don't know what I like anymore.
Our brief conversation made Mom dead quiet. An awkward silence took place inside the house. It was that same feeling again. That same feeling where Ted behaves weirdly and crushes the positivity around the house in a blink. But I'm not a kid anymore. I smiled and said, Happy New Year, Ted. I missed you.
You did?
Yeah, we all did. I even cleaned your room with Mom, and I promise you we didn't change a single thing in there. We wanted you to come back to your old room just how you left it.
That means the dead rabbit is back in the drawer, huh?
Ted, don't talk like that. Why can't you be nice to your sister?
I'll freshen up. It's been a long time since I've taken a bath like a normal human being. You know, Martha, in that freak house, you can't even get to pee without being watched by a security guard.
Ted went upstairs, and we all just stood there. My dad caressed my cheeks and said,
He's having a rough time, Martha. Things will be all right. I promise.
I'm gonna run this back. I have a sick mind. I'm gonna run it back and just close your eyes to.
Ted went upstairs, and we all just stood there. Dad.
Okay, close your eyes. Dude, this one sounds so creepy.
My dad caressed my cheeks and said,
Pause. Sus on all of that.
He's having a rough time, Martha. Things will be all right. I promise.
I smiled painfully because Ted's cruel words did hurt my feelings. When he came down, Mom started to set up the table for dinner. We all sat down to eat. The smell of such delicious food made me hungry. There was roasted pork, grilled chicken, mashed potatoes, corn salad, and shrimp rolls. Everyone ate quietly that night. After dinner, Ted went out for a walk with Dad. Mom and I were cleaning the dishes when we heard our neighbor's voice outside.
Charlie, it's late. Mom wants you home, boy. Charlie, where are you?
Not boy.
We went to our backyard and saw our neighbor, Mr. Hoffman, looking for his 5-year-old son. What happened, Mr. Hoffman?
Have you seen Charlie, Miss McGuire?
No, why?
He was playing right here the entire time, but I can't find him now.
What? What do you mean you can't find him?
I called his friends. He didn't go to their house. I don't know what to do.
My mom suddenly looked at me with scared eyes. She stared at it for a few seconds, then said, Call your dad, Martha. Tell them to come back right now. Why, Mom, what happened? Just do it! I dialed my dad's number while my mom started to walk upstairs in a very freaky way. She was taking each step slowly, like something frightening was waiting upstairs for her. After informing my dad, I followed her too. She walked to Ted's room and stopped there. Her body was shaking. I felt like she would pass out any minute now. What the hell is going on, Mom? You're scaring me now. Without answering my questions, she opened the door and we entered Ted's room. Everything was in its place, except the white bed sheet was missing. She slowly walked to the bed and crouched down to look under it. She then stretched her hand and pulled out the corner of the white bed sheet under the bed. What is that? There's something in it. I'm not... She pulled the sheet with all her strength, and as soon as she did that, a small, lifeless hand sprung out from that curled-up bedsheet. It wasn't difficult to guess that the hand belonged to a kid. Before we could contemplate this, my dad and brother came rushing upstairs and got shocked seeing our faces.
What happened, Mary?
Just like the previous time, my mom again pointed at the hand of that dead kid, and my dad looked back at Ted. We all looked at him with fearful faces. It was like history repeating itself.
No, Dad. I didn't do it. Mom, it's not me. Please trust me. Don't send me back there. I didn't do anything. I was innocent last time. I am innocent this time as well. Please believe me. Don't send me away again. I just came home. Please.
My mom started sobbing terribly. Hearing her cry, our neighbors came in, and we found little Charlie dead under Ted's bed.
God damn.
He was strangled with a t-shirt that belonged to Ted. There was nothing we could do. The cops were called and they took him away. I didn't expect Ted to get in such serious trouble. I hope the judge reduces his punishment, taking into account his poor mental history. The doctors regret their decision of letting him come back, but they said Ted is accomplished in faking normalcy. He behaved like he was completely sane. I don't know what will happen to him next, but I don't want him to stop visiting us forever. I mean, if he doesn't come home for every New Year celebration, how will I fake normalcy? It's not easy keeping all these exciting thoughts in my head from coming out. I feel a little bad for him, though. Since childhood, he's been bearing the consequences of my deeds. He is so gullible. He still doesn't realize it was me who killed that rabbit and put it into his drawer.
What did I say? What did I say? I knew there was something fishy going on with the sister. Come on now.
Hands didn't hesitate for a second when I strangled that poor kid and hid his body under Ted's bed. I just hope my twin brother gets to visit us at least once a year, so that I don't have to pretend to be good for that one day.
Jesus.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. If so, please leave a like. And also, a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. If you want to support this channel and make this channel reach the 1 million mark, please consider subscribing. It's free and you can change your mind later. Enjoy.
This happened on New Year's Eve of 2012. I was in high school and it was my first big party with my friends. I may not be a celebrity look-alike pulled out from any fashion magazine, but I wasn't bad either. I had a charming smile and always cracked the best jokes at the right times. Though the entire credit goes to my dad because he used to send me huge pocket money. Being a privileged kid, everyone automatically wanted to be my friend, and I kind of took that for granted. My roommate, Jake, was another rich kid, just like me, and we were the dudes of our batch. But even though we were best friends, I disliked a few things about him. One major thing was his way of pranking people. Sometimes Jake crossed all limits to crack a practical joke. From leaving a bag full of dog poop in front of the dean's office to sticking gum on professors' chairs, he did a bunch of silly things. But that one time he sent a fake love letter, and things took a downfall from there. We were smoking on our high school roof when we heard two voices. It was after school hours, so we freaked out thinking we were going to get caught. We put out the smoke and tiptoed towards the emergency stairs. The voices were coming from the other side of the roof, so we tried to sneak back into our room without letting anyone know. Jake and I were almost near the stairs when the voices got louder. But you are not getting this.
I don't want to hear anything. This has to stop.
But why? Aren't we having a good time?
What you're calling a good time is nothing but adultery, Joseph.
But Miss Morris, I love you. Your husband has been dead for a while. I'm going to pass out of high school soon.
God
We
damn.
have a life together, you know.
Hell no.
No, Joseph, it was all a mistake. Please, don't ever contact me again.
Jesus.
I'm just your teacher, and that's it.
We would have listened more, but heavy footsteps started to come close. Jake and I rambled down the stairs like Flash and got inside our room. This is so sick, dude. Joseph and Mrs. Morris? Let it be, man. It's none of our business anyway. What? Do you have any idea how much fun we can have with this? I already have an idea to make our New Year party memorable. Please, Matt, let it stay between us. I promise it will be a small joke. I should have stopped him, but I didn't. I was no saint, honestly. I too wanted to see Jake's plan, but none of us had the minimum idea that it was indeed going to be the most memorable New Year of our lives. The next day, after class, Jake and I went to the local post office. Jake wrote 2 letters, one for Joseph and the other one for Miss Morris. He then posted them. The letter for Joseph read how much Miss Morris loves him, and she wasn't in a good mood last night. But she wants to break all boundaries and accept their relationship. She wants Joseph to be at the New Year party, as she has planned something special for him. But before that party, Joseph must stay away from her and don't contact her to avoid any third-party attention to this.
That's
clocked up. In the letter
up.
from Miss Morris, there were threats.
Jesus.
It read that Miss Morris can't reject Joseph like that. She must meet him at the New Year party, or else he will share all their private texts and pictures with the entire high school. If she tries to talk to him before that, or even informs anyone about this, he will do the same. The plan was pretty simple. They both will come to the party, confront each other, and will realize how someone made a fool of them both. Everything was set up according to the plan. On the eve of New Year, a party was organized at the city town hall. Like every year, all the kids of the town and their parents attended that party. The townspeople were getting drunk and celebrating like crazy. Jake and I punched alcohol in our fruit juice. We were drinking with our friends, standing near the entrance, but our eyes were on the pathway. A few minutes later, we saw Joseph coming with his parents. He was wearing a new suit, probably expecting this night to be the best night of his life. He came in and started to look for Miss Morris. We waited for her, but she was nowhere to be seen. When it was around midnight, and everyone was all set to wish each other a happy New Year, we heard a spine-chilling scream. A woman in our neighborhood was standing outside the town hall and staring at the top of it with wide, fearful eyes. We all ran outside. As we gathered under the town hall, we saw a horrifying scene. There was a huge clock at the top of the town hall. Under that clock, a woman was standing with a rope tied to her neck. Everyone could guess who she was. It was Miss Morris. Joseph's face turned white. Miss Morris, what are you doing there? A sick yet painful smile appeared on her face. She wiped her face with her hands and said,
I'm fine, Joe. I'm just too tired to go on with this life. I know you love me, and I want to show you how much I love you too.
Oh my God.
I just can't handle these threats anymore. I have to stop being scared and running away from my feelings.
Come down, please.
Look, it's almost midnight. Count on me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Miss Morris, please. That was a prank. Please come down. It was my fault. Jake yelled in panic, seeing his prank going out of hand. But Miss Morris was in a different state of mind. It seemed like she couldn't hear any of us. Everyone started screaming and telling her to come down, as we all could anticipate what she was going to do next. But she didn't give us the time to save her.
Don't worry. It'll all be over now. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Her body dangled in the air as she choked for a while. People started screaming in terror, witnessing this horrifying sight. Joseph fainted on the ground, and we couldn't speak. Even though Jake and I told the cops it was a silly prank gone wrong, everyone blamed us for her death. Joseph ran away from home without even finishing high school. It's been 10 years now. Jake and I are not in touch anymore. But every New Year's Eve, I couldn't help but think how things would have been different if we didn't post those letters that day.
She would have still been
I
alive.
could go back in time and change the things we did wrong.
God damn. Now she about to haunt the shit out of that school. Jesus.
I decided to buy a gift for myself around last New Year's Eve. I didn't have much money saved up after spending it all on gifts and decorations for Christmas. So instead of the mall, I browsed some small mom and pop shops in my neighborhood. In the end, I stumbled across an old antique shop I'd never seen before. Upon entering, I was met with entire shelves full of weird and wonderful curios with highly affordable prices. Yet amongst all those fancy antiques, it was a simple leather notebook that appealed to me the most. I don't know what it was about it that drew me to it. Maybe it looked so plain and simple compared to everything else that it paradoxically became impossible to miss. The moment I picked it up and saw the $5 price tag, I knew what my next New Year's present to myself was going to be. I brought the notebook to the counter.
He's sus. He looks sus. That's all I gotta say about that. Sus ass cashier.
Where a kindly old
God
man
damn.
scanned and bagged it for me.
You have a good eye, lad. Not everyone appreciates the work it once took to create books by hand, especially leather ones.
Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking about writing my New Year's resolutions in it.
Oh, I'm sure whatever you write in this book will come true one way or another. Old items like these have a certain magic to them, you know.
I wasn't sure what the heck the man meant by that, but I laughed the comment off. Paid him $5 and thought about what I was going to write in the notebook. Once
I hate when people. I mean, I do that too, but like he was talking as if that was like foreshadowing, you know, like you see one of your coworkers on a ladder and you talking about it'd be a shame if you failed. Was that dark? Sorry.
Home. Once I was home, I sat down on my work desk and started writing the first 5 things that came to my mind about what I wanted to improve in myself. 1, eat less junk food. 2, lose weight. 3, spend less money on my girlfriend. 4, spend more time with mom. 5, get that promotion at work. When I tried to close the notebook, I ended up accidentally giving myself a paper cut on the edge of the page. I pulled my hand back in mild surprise, and the blood from my thumb dropped onto the page where I wrote my New Year's resolution. The red blood seeped into the white page and immediately disappeared. A little odd, but I brushed it off and went to bed.
A little odd. That's clucking weird as shit. But you just brushed it off like it was like some dirt or some shit. Like it was some crumbs. My ass. That's cluckness manifesting.
New Year's Eve came and went. And like most people on the first day of January, I completely forgot about the resolutions I'd made and went back to my old habits of eating McDonald's on a regular basis. As if to punish me for my lack of resolve, I became involved in an accident within the first week of the new year.
God damn.
I was walking on the sidewalk one morning on my way to work when a wrench flew into the side of my face. Apparently, a guy was fixing his car and forgot to take one of his wrenches from the roof of his car before continuing to drive. So when he drove and made a fast, sharp turn near me, the wrench went flying from the car and straight into my face.
God damn!
The impact shattered my entire lower jaw.
Jesus!
I let my teeth fly out of my mouth before falling onto the ground and choking on my own blood. Luckily for me, there were bystanders around, and they quickly called an ambulance for me.
What are the clucking odds? I'm suing the shit out of that person.
I spent the next week in the hospital getting my jaw reconstructed. The doctors were able to patch me up pretty well, though they told me I'd have to live off a liquid diet for the rest of the year, or more. As you can imagine, I took some time off work in order to recover at home. I was in constant pain because of my injury and lost so much weight that I looked like a skeleton. But it was made bearable by my wonderful girlfriend, who visited me almost every day. I made a mental note to buy her something nice for her upcoming birthday, to thank her for everything. Then, one night, as I was laying in bed watching TV, I received a phone call that changed everything. It was from the police, and though I couldn't say much to them with my broken jaw, I was able to understand everything they said clearly. My girlfriend had been murdered. A mugger had stabbed her in the stomach.
God
She was on her
damn!
way to my house. The grocery bags she'd been carrying when police found her were filled with drinks, yogurt, and other liquid foods, stuff that she no doubt intended to bring to me while I recovered from my injuries. The worst part was I couldn't even give a speech at her funeral because of my messed up jaw. When I got home after the funeral, I noticed something I'd completely forgotten. The notebook where I'd written my New Year resolutions lay forgotten on my living room coffee table. I had intended to record my progress on my resolutions on it, but I'd forgotten to do so after everything that had happened. Needing a distraction from my grief, I picked up the notebook and was shocked to find that it had changed without me knowing. 3 of the 5 resolutions I'd written, eat less junk food, lose weight, and spend less money on my girlfriend, had been crossed off by what looked like red ink that gave up a metallic scent like blood.
God damn!
The connection between it and my recent tragedies clicked in my mind. My first resolution was to eat less junk food, and my accident forced me to eat nothing but liquid foods. That then directly caused my second resolution, to lose weight, to come true. Then finally my third resolution, the one I regret most of all, to spend less money on my girlfriend, came true with her dying while trying to help me cope with my condition. I tried to burn the book in hopes that it'll break whatever curse it had on me, but it was fireproof. I tried ripping out the page where I wrote the resolution,
God damn.
But the words simply appeared on the next page instead, no matter how many times I tore them out. When it became clear that I couldn't destroy the book, I thought that I could avoid whatever sick plans it had in store for me by fulfilling the resolutions myself before it could force them on me. My fourth resolution had been to spend more time with my mom, so I immediately got into my car and made a mad dash for the quiet town where my mother retired. It was raining heavily in the town by the time I got there, and my mind was still foggy from the effects of the painkillers that kept my body functional. I didn't notice the old lady crossing the street until I ran her over with my car on the dark road. Upon realizing what happened, I rushed out to help her, even though I knew it was already too late. She'd been nearly torn in 2 by the wheels of my car.
God damn!
Her body was on the right side of the road, and the other was on the left.
Oh, God.
Lengths of intestines and mushed up organs were splattered across the asphalt while the blood washed away in the rain. But the worst part was her face. Not because of how mutilated it was, but because it was unharmed enough for me to recognize her. Looking up at me with glassy dead eyes in the middle of the road was the corpse of my own mother.
God damn!
I drove away from the gruesome scene in my panic, and the rain washed away any evidence of my crime from the car. When I received the phone call about my mother's death the next day, I wasn't surprised. Her will asked her to be buried in the backyard of the house she raised me in, the same house as the one that I was currently living in. Since then, every second I stayed in the house was spent with my mother just outside my door.
What was that last one?
My fourth New Year's resolution had been fulfilled, though not in the way I'd ever wanted to. There is only one uncrossed resolution left in the notebook now. Get that promotion at work. Considering the notebook's track record, I can only assume that I'll kill all my rival co-workers at work to ensure that I get the promotion. After what happened with my mother, I know that just working harder won't allow me to make the resolution come true without someone I know dying for it. So before that can happen, I am going to kill myself.
God damn!
This story is my confession and suicide note. Nobody else should have to suffer for what I wrote in that notebook. Let me be the last victim of my own selfish wishes.
If you want something in life, just go out there and get it yourself. Jesus. Safely. With Adidas. Happy New Year. May you have blessings on blessings. And I hope this year is a great year for you all. My family. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy. My family.